Some of you may know me for being a very congenial host at Sonara or at the Real Coconut. And it's a pleasure and it's an honor to connect with you in these curative conscious containers that Daniela and I have been able to steward for the last few years of our life together. In our connectedness together and with God, we spend our time deliberating, communicating, activating around food and water. I think you know that we produce crops that, or food around crops that are low impact, that don't require much irrigated water, like coconut and plantain and yucca and hemp. And we have a greenhouse collaboration in Holland now making algae, because we're very aware that 50 to 85% of every single breath that we're taking comes from our ocean and from the algae. And we're not correlating yet and connecting with the impact that we've been having on our oceans. And we all see plastic. We see plastic on the beaches in Mexico and Belize. And we see the effect that that is having to a degree. There is so much that we don't see under the surface of the water. But we do know a fact that 50 to 85% of every single breath that we take comes from algae. And if the algae dies, and it's looking that way, then we don't breathe and we die. So anyway, I've written this poem in this solemn moment called Much to Do About Water. And I'll read it to you and see how it goes. Nothing more precious. No, nothing more precious. Abundant from the dawn of time. It flows across a vault below heaven, creating our breath. Sourced from snowy mountain heads, filling up seas, lakes, and riverbeds. It rises from wells and city reservoirs. Simply said, it is giving life to life. Nothing is more sustaining. 2021, and somehow it's different now. What was abundant and alive is now scarce and expensive. What was given is now held back. Ice caps are retreating and our polluted oceans rise. Our planet lungs are agonizingly contracting as we massacre algae and trees. The crime of this century has us all to a ransom we can never afford. Unconscious through time, we had the ability to breathe, and now, out of time, we may not. 2025, and it's too late. Cupped hands grasp for last drops. Wells run dry. Water, a distant memory to 1 billion people. If I said more than 1 billion, you wouldn't believe me. Sun-scorched earth, deprived crops wither. Withering fish rush a shrinking maze to dirty, shallow pools. Ban cattle factories grow in climate lobbies. Mouths are parched, straining across power-walled borders. Blue gold value exceeds crude oil. Who then is to lobby our rights to water? Are we able to scream out loud to stop this insanity? Can you cry? Cry. Water's access has to be free to all people. Criminalized to irrigate. Rebellious hordes have lost patience. Over time, the patience of China became peril in India. And this never lost patience in China, the peril of Africa, as fresh water gushes under their lands in pipes. Powers, nations, and banks manipulating a Chinatown. Like unseen magnets, negative manipulations deflect your life flow away. Yet, wait, it's still 2021, and all can be avoided by not avoiding, by people not distracted by this baiting fact or that. Water doesn't have to break the camel's back. Water can indeed be your life's olive branch and not mark your final crisis. What then will happen if your head is underwater when the world is lit on water fire? What again will happen if your head is underwater when time arrives to search for what you thought was a given? Your future, you, conscious, committed, a trigger to a waterfall of consciousness. Our have or have we not got water can bring our senses back. Once deflected annoyingly because it made us wet, we gave it away. Now we reverse umbrellas to life-supporting rain catchers and we learn to receive. No patience for a nation's bullying conquest of Everett's river heads. No patience for Kern County's billions of gallons for almond growth. Ignorance lifted, and ocean algae remains our stunning breathing factory. Fish no longer swim through a dirty maze of plastic and toxins. Low-impact crops farmed by our global community who receive fair value. We have made water free. We have made food available. And only because of this gratitude, water in its benevolence allows us to be alive. Free water is to free people. Thanks.